Hello everyone, welcome to my first mentorship video for photographers. Eventually maybe I'll get into the videography part of it, but my name is Anna McGrew. I am so excited to begin to start these new videos to be helpful for you and for anyone that you know that's starting photography, starting a studio. So what I'm going to go over today is a simple tour of my studio. That way you get kind of a good idea of what my style is and what my workflow is and setup is. And of course, over the years and over the seasons, it all changes, but this will give you a great idea on what it's like. So a little background on me. I have 16 years of experience in photography and about 8 years in videography. I started photography when our first son was 1 and he is now 17. So back in 2009, I took the leap and bought a camera, not expecting to even be a photographer really. I just wanted to take pictures and have fun. But of course, as you know, life, it just is an adventure and you gradually get where you're going sometimes. That's at least how it's gone for me. So I have 5 children, 4 boys, 1 girl. Me and my husband have been together since I was 13, he was 15. We got married when I was 17 and he was 19. So anyway, that just gives you a little background and history from me. My studio I opened in 2018. Yeah, 2018. December 8th, 2018 is when I opened and had my first session in here. So I did, of course, half of my career was without a studio. So we'll go through that with the mentorship program as well. But again, today I just want to show everyone my studio, and I want you to get kind of a good idea of maybe you're trying to get a studio, maybe you're in one and you want to see something with like a simple layout that still looks good for your clients to come over and storage and everything. Or maybe your goal one day is to have a studio, and one day I will share that video as well with the mentorship program. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to touring my studio right now. So here we go. All right. This right here is my back to school mini setup. I have done many setups over the years, of course, starting out with sessions outside with just a simple desk, some cute little decor. I will throw some pictures in there so you can see what I first started out with, because you don't necessarily need a studio, but since we're touring my studio today, we're gonna look at what I have designed. So over the years, I have really simplified my design. You don't need a whole lot. I'll even make a video based on each backdrop that I have here. That way we cover everything and you can kind of see what the backdrops are like. So when you do them, when you do these backdrops yourself, you will have a good understanding of what it takes and what ways of doing it with a budget, because I know that's a big issue a lot of times. So this next one is this is a Kate backdrop. You can see up there where it folds down. This is a Kate backdrop. It photographs really well. So when you photograph it, it actually looks like a real insert to a wall, which I will go over this backdrop more in a future video. I will even post right now, I'll insert a few photos of everything that I go over here, but I'll insert some photos so you can see what that backdrop looks like, how it photographs, and all of that. So the next thing we have here is this is a what do you call it? It's basically a little closed area for newborn photography. So all of these outfits are hanging neatly. Of course, this one fell off. I need to hang it back up. But you can see all these little hangers came from Amazon. These outfits, some of them came from Amazon. I do have a few specialty ones that came from Etsy. Actually, I think the person that made them was from Ukraine, and it's like real wool, so it's very pretty. I'll insert a few photos of these so you can kind of see what the outfits look like on the babies. This whole wooden setup my husband made for me, and he made it with dowel rods and whatever these size wood is. You can tell I didn't make it because I know nothing about what all the material is called. But he made it for me, and it looks really classic and really neat and tidy, and it's also really lightweight, so I can easily pick it up and move it across the room, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. I can even hang some wraps from the bottom of it. But anyway, I love that little newborn clothing rack. That is what it's called. It's called a clothing rack. So I love it because it gives the parents the opportunity to look through the outfits. Over the years, I have sifted through what outfits really work. Sometimes you get a newborn outfit on Amazon and it actually is more like a 0 to 3 month. So I have narrowed down the outfits and made it to what I like to use. So this white wall is textured. This is my textured wall, and I really love it. It gives just nice detail when I don't want something plain, and I can throw in a few photos of that. This bench is just a simple bench. It's nice to have neutral items as you're a photographer because you will use those more than anything. You will use your neutral items more than any other item because if you go with a good neutral brown and neutral gray, neutral creams, I use a lot of neutral cream colors. So that little bowl down there came from Madagascar on one of my mission trips. I love it so much, and it's always a great story to tell my clients. Then moving over here, we have a simple shelf. Like I said, I like to keep all my neutral things out to where it's appealing to the eye when the client comes in. It looks neat and tidy, and they get a good calm feeling from it. But especially new moms, they just want the space to be extremely calm. But you can see all my neutral items. You come up here and you have the colored items. I keep these tucked away so it keeps it from being distracting to the eye. I used to have them all out on this shelf, folded in order of color, but as I cleaned my studio and gave it a refresh a few months ago, I decided to keep all the kind of distracting items up here. Then over here we have my moody side. So the previous side I just showed you behind me here is my calm, white, airy area. It's airy area. So, but this next side is moody side. So I can take any style of photo. If my client likes the more moody look, we can do it over here. And then it makes it nice to have both options. This fireplace I've used many times. It in Christmas sessions, I've used it in family sessions to kind of have like an elegant fireplace behind it. It used to look really rustic before I painted it. I'm feeling that the rustic farmy type stuff is really kind of going out, and more of an elegant style is starting to come into play in photography. So, and that's another reason why I went with more of a retro desk instead of the old school desk that I used to go with. So next thing we have here is this couch. So it's very neutral as well. A lot of my items you'll see are very neutral. I can always add colored pillows. You know, use your big items as a neutral, and then you can always decorate with colored items to add to it. And also I can even buy a couch cover and change the color if I wanted to. But I really like to go with the neutral couch because I've taken this couch everywhere. I've taken it into fields, I can put it in the back of my van to transport it there, and it works out so well. And then we have this flooring. I'll tell you more about the flooring. We'll go over it in greater detail in the future, but you can see I have that wood flooring over there. I have this white flooring, and it could probably use a little bit of a sweeping, but I just tracked some stuff in. But anyway, I go with white. Photographer knows the more light we have, the better the picture's gonna be. So white just adds a great reflector, and you can always cover it up with like the flooring that we just saw, or even some type of floor drop that you come up with that maybe you buy or build yourself. I'll even talk about that in another video. So a little bit more to go over here. As we turn this way, you can see this little room leads into a bathroom over here. But what we had going on here was my studio was, let's see, it's 1,400 square feet. I only needed the front of it for photography. The back of it is storage. So I wanted to have a faux wall. Let's get it behind me here. So I wanted to have a faux wall that would separate all of our storage stuff from the pretty side of business. The ugly side of business is behind this wall. The pretty side is on the part I just showed you. So you can see this gray wall right there with the photo hanging on it is on wheels. I can move it easily. This white wall is just kind of standing. Let's go back in there. Okay, so this faux wall is on wheels. You can't see them on this side, but on the back side of the wall I can see them. I used it to kind of hang my artwork up here and display the pretty things. And then I just painted it a simple gray, so it's actually like particle board or whatever you would call it, but we happened to have it on hand, and I was like, it's perfectly the right height to go from floor to ceiling. And then this white wall is something I hand painted myself. I'll go over that in another video. But it just gives me another floor drop or backdrop option if I want to move it into the other part. Then I keep my lighting over here, and we'll go over lighting as well. So I have a lot of plans to help you all out, because I know getting started in photography, or even advancing in photography, or putting yourself out there and trying to come up with a studio can be really intimidating, but it's a fun journey, and I want to kind of assist you on getting you there, and telling you that you can do it. There's hope, there's possibility, you know, just be creative. Like, one thing about us photographers and videographers is we're extremely creative. So, you know, I'm gonna go over in some of the other videos ways of thinking outside of the box, like looking at materials that you might already have. Most of this stuff was things that were already here in this building. I'll go over the whole testimony of how I got into this building, but you know, I really want these videos to be an encouragement. So like, comment, subscribe. I want to hear what kind of videos you're needing, because the more you tell me, what you need, the more I can help make that video happen and help with my knowledge and expertise. And you know what? If I don't know it, I have photographers around me that might know that answer. And so let's form a community here and let me mentor you and really help you on your journey as well. So thank you for watching this studio tour, and tune in the future for some more mentorship. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get to know everyone. So have a nice, blessed day. All right, bye.